It's impossible to deny that Bridgerton is one of the best series on Netflix. Bridgerton is everything you could ever want in a show, from the Regency romance to the scandalous twists. While waiting for the third season, we've been keeping ourselves occupied with everything Bridgerton. What have we learned? Some surprising and not so surprising facts. Here are 10 interesting facts that even the biggest fans of the Bridgerton series may not know. When the period drama Bridgerton premiered on Netflix in 2020, it became everyone's new obsession. Set in the 19th century, the series follows the competitive marriage market of Regency London, high society, where upper-class debutantes and eligible bachelors hope to find suitable marriages. And while we were all wrapped up in the plot, there are some things viewers might have missed, including the real reason Regé-Jean Page left after season 1, and keep watching to the end to find out the advice Queen Bee gave to Queen C. In royal news, did you know that the Queen of England once halted the filming of the show? Upon the directives of Queen Elizabeth II, Bridgerton once had to stop shooting for one of their episodes. The show was once disrupted by the sovereign's hectic schedule, as one scene was filmed at Lancaster House. One part of the palace complex, the London property, often hosts formal events for the monarch. Chris Van Dusen, the showrunner and executive producer of Bridgerton, recalled the day the Queen needed the space and asked him to halt filming. Responding to a fan on Twitter, he said, "We had very limited time to shoot this scene before Her Majesty, the real one, needed the space at Lancaster House, London. #Bridgerton." For the unversed, Queen Charlotte was the wife of King George III and Queen Elizabeth II's great-great-great-grandmother. Those who haven't read the books may not know that Queen Charlotte is a Netflix-exclusive character. But why did Netflix add a character who doesn't appear in the books? Bridgerton is set in London during the Regency era and is an unusual vision of British history. While period dramas tend to focus on men as the power figures, this version of British society clearly illustrates the importance of women in their households. In this matriarchy, Queen Charlotte rules with a spinning wheel. The Queen's favor or displeasure will be a girl's entry pass into the most exclusive season parties. Daphne's story begins when the Queen pronounces a remarkable judgment upon her. Daphne has become the diamond of the season, and every man around casts his eye on her, while every other woman considers her their chief rival. Yet, surprisingly, none of this happens in the original novels by Julia Quinn. In fact, Queen Charlotte doesn't make an appearance at all. While the show Bridgerton has garnered attention for its diverse casting, Quinn's books make no mention of race. Creator Chris Van Dusen and Shonda Rhimes were responsible for choosing a diverse cast. A historical controversy over Queen Charlotte's nationality has been rekindled by the hype surrounding Bridgerton. Bridgerton True Story. Was Queen Charlotte black? Netflix's Bridgerton may be fiction, but it gives a surprisingly accurate portrayal of Queen Charlotte, and she may have been black. The casting has sparked a lot of controversies, considering most viewers have a hard time imagining a black queen. Many people have rekindled a historical debate over Queen Charlotte's nationality, thanks to the hype surrounding Bridgerton. The Queen Consort, who served as monarch from 1761 to 1818, is said to be directly derived from Margarita de Castro y Souza, a black branch of the Portuguese royal house, according to PBS's Frontline, which referenced several significant historical images as support. While Julia Quinn's beloved romance novel series is set in the whitewashed reality of 19th century England, Shonda Rhimes' Bridgerton is a revolutionary show filled with color and race at all levels of its society, and their casting choices were brilliant. The color-conscious and inclusive casting has certainly raised awareness of how badly we needed that. Quinn is not new to criticism from the historical accuracy police before. In an interview for The Guardian, she admits she was afraid that switching the race of some of the characters would be denying real things that happened, but came to the agreeable conclusion the show is a fantasy, and it's more important to show that as many people people as possible deserve this type of happiness and dignity? Did they make the right choice by bringing in all these inclusivity elements? Comment below. Did you notice the voice guiding you through Netflix's luxuriously contorted period drama sounded familiar? Those of you who are Sound of Music devotees would be right. Lady Whistledown, Gossip Girl's 18th century counterpart, chronicles the story of a romance novel adaptation with her wicked narration of local scandals. As those who grew up watching The Sound of Music and Mary Poppins may have cannily noticed, Whistledown's well-articulated tones are none other than those of legendary Julie Andrews. At 85 years of age, Andrews is as eloquent as ever. Her speaking voice a wickedly perfect fit for the ever-snooping Lady Whistledown. In an interview with Parade, Andrews stated that Whistledown is a tartar and naughty woman. Spot on, don't you think? But not only do the six-packs of the male cast or the opulent costumes of the leading actresses deserve a second look, but the series also has a lot to offer in terms of beauty. Audrey Hepburn defines an interesting beauty fact. Daphne Bridgerton's look. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, or in this case, the Duchess. Young and radiantly beautiful. Hands up if you Googled how the Duchess achieved her dewy makeup look. Hair and makeup designer Mark Pilcher, hair and makeup supervisor Linda Pierce, and British Glamour sat down to discuss the sewing box and revealed, among other things, how Audrey Hepburn, especially in War and Peace, served as an influence for the styling. This is what defines the look of Daphne Bridgerton. As a fan of the Netflix series, you were probably disappointed to hear that Regé-Jean Page, the Duke of Hastings, wouldn't return for season 2. His brooding, smoldering Simon Bassett was a big part of the enormous success of the series, so fans were understandably upset. The actor told Variety he was only ever contracted for 1 season, and following the path of the books that the show is based on, the next season will focus on Anthony Bridgerton rather than Simon and his bride Daphne. So it made sense that the British star wouldn't be returning. But a source for Page 6 has it on good authority that there's more to the story. They claim Regé is not coming back to Bridgerton because of creative differences with Shonda Rhimes and her team. He wasn't happy with what was planned for his character for season 2, which would have kept him a player, but not the show's focal point. Trust Bridgerton to bring the drama both on and off screen. We can't blame him for not wanting to take a backseat to a Bridgerton brother in the next season. When your name is being tossed in the ring for James Bond, why settle for anything less than the lead role? In other interesting and Duke-related facts, Jonathan Bailey initially auditioned for the role of the Duke of Hastings. As you know, the role eventually went to Regé-Jean Page. However, the casting team suggested Jonathan for the part of Anthony, and the rest is history. Speaking of history, the Althorpe estate of Princess Diana served as a model for Bridgerton's residence, which is equally as breathtaking as Anthony. Sex, intrigue, and amazing period clothing are just the beginning of what makes Shonda Rhimes' Netflix series Bridgerton so worth watching. If you don't fall in love with the house, then I don't know what to tell you. The opulent mansion was the perfect backdrop for Daphne Bridgerton and her siblings, who lounged around on fainting couches or played the piano or simply strolled and talked, their one true passion. And it seems that particular house has a Princess Diana connection. The creator of the Bridgerton series, Chris Van Dusen, was inspired by none other than Althorpe House, the 19th century childhood estate where Princess Diana spent her teen years. And what's more, we've heard Princess Diana's brother, Charles, Earl Spencer, was delighted to find out the news. As we mentioned earlier, another queen, Queen Bee, Beyoncé, inspired Queen Charlotte's hair on the show. While some of the wigs and hairstyles fit in perfectly with the 19th century, others stood out in the best possible way, especially regarding Queen Charlotte. Each time the Queen graced us with her presence on screen with a different, elaborate wig in tow, she demanded all the attention. For Queen Charlotte's larger-than-life afro, Pilcher looked to Beyoncé Knowles false hair in Austin Powers. I was like, she's going to have the biggest fro that you've ever seen, he said. To achieve the right volume level, Pilcher had to sew together 4 separate wigs, and he worried he had gone too far. But he needn't have worried. When the star walked out wearing her new do, everyone was blown away. Let us know if you know the look we're talking about. That's all our interesting facts until a new season is upon us. The 3rd season, currently filming, will focus on Penelope Featherington and her long-held crush, Colin Bridgerton. Rumor has it, season 3 will be much sexier, if that's even possible. Subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on more Bridgerton-related videos. See you next time.